Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Darshan Raval. We just checked him out in that sort of list. We don't check those lists very often, but he are very good to do this. Like,
that's right.
Names that are very interesting in checking out the charts and stuff like that. It is interesting because we're not very big fans of like in general charting music, because it doesn't seem to be the most complex musically, and we like to break stuff down, as all of you guys know. But someone that you guys said actually his pedigree of music is very good and he's a very good singer is Darshan Raval, and he's gonna be singing how do you pronounce it? Pehli Mohabbat,
I think.
And he's in BBC Radio, so fucking as raw as it gets. They're really good
That's
at
right.
us letting us know whether he's actually a great singer. And get the feeling he is. Let's give it a watch.
Let's have a look.
Got very requested in the previous videos.
I'm Bobby Friction here in India.
Bobby
for
Friction.
BBC Asia Network in Mumbai. Here's another exclusive live session for you.
You can tell a
Check it out.
motherfucker grew up in London.
This is Bobby Friction in Mumbai. I like his name.
So he's this jockey name kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a very special song because I started my journey with the song.
Oh!
If you guys like it.
I will.
Well, it's like, I'm decided.
Yes. And yes, I do like it. I do. That's it. I will.
Press play.
Listen, I'm bought.
Clown.
I'm sorry. Just tell me how cool you are. The level of coolness in your coolness rate.
Go on.
Your coolness number 100, 1100, right? Cool. If you wear dark
sunglasses,
shades
yeah.
in the studio when it's dark, bro, he can't see stuff.
No, or he's just been travelling, got hit with jet lag or something like that, and his eyes look puffed.
But bro,
That's
level of coolness 1,000.
True. I think also maybe he's a bit tired. Go on.
Yeah, but how cool, no?
मेरा दिन भी तू मेरी शाम तू मेरे रात के सपनों में तू मेरी आहटें तेरा नाम ले ये बात तू मान ले मेरा दिन भी तू मेरी शाम
nice
तू
vibrato.
मेरे रात के सपनों में तू मेरी
At the end of some phrases.
ये बात तू मान ले
Well, now he doesn't have any.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see.
मेरी आहटें तेरा नाम ले ये बात तू
Not there.
100 साल का मेरा एक दिन
I know.
Mera.
Because
That's
you know,
quite cool.
vibrato is not popular in Indian music, commonly exerted. That's not something that they often use. Actually, it's so averted. They literally use no vibrato. It's very straight tone. But yeah, he does have a. It's not a vibrato per se, but it's like a singing mannerism where like you
Like a
gotta.
fluctuation of sound. It's like a fluctuation of sound.
They waver the last end like
That's a waver.
It's like a bounce
Right.
to the sound frequency, but it's not actually a vibrato.
Probably a good time to address this. So lately, a lot of you guys have been sending us this video of a specific coach that was discussing kind of like singing in India, right? And she was sort of like addressing the idea that there's like a right and a wrong way of singing. I think that coach specifically claimed it came, if I remember correctly from what you're telling me, like a opera kind of background, a much more classical Western
Approach to singing, yeah.
to singing, right? Which not surprised that if a person like that would come with such conclusions, because they are very orthodox. I genuinely mean that.
Yes.
They're very sort of set in their ways, and respect to them, and they're very impressive singers, anyways. But what I think was really cool, and we discussed this also in other videos with the channel, is like because we do check out music from all over the world.
That's right.
What seems to be more obvious than ever is the more you check out music from all over the world, is that you certainly don't want industries to follow a specific form of singing. You want those cultural differences. You want those different approaches to the craft, because that's what creates art. You want unique, not uniform. Now, does that mean that there are wrong or right ways of singing? Yeah, for sure. There might be some wrong ways of doing things, and we can discuss them through longevity and damage. Do they cause, can you have a long career, or will you damage yourself in a way that could have been avoided. You can talk about technicalities and things like that before you interject. What's interesting about the Indian music industry, it's, first of all, there's a good argument that music fucking began there.
Yes.
Right? So, and the more I dive in...
Historically speaking, yeah, that would be a good guess.
So, to say that that's the wrong way to sing, I mean, we would obviously disagree, right? Because we just don't have the idea that it's like the right or wrong way of singing. But what's interesting is that specific parts of the world have been so set historically in a specific way, in a specific approach of singing, that they may deem others incorrect. That to me is fucking crazy, because that's like you presuming that a language is correct and another isn't.
That's right. I totally agree with you. I think that's the best way of describing it, because it's not.
I'm not gonna say who the person is.
No, of course not. This is not about pointing fingers or anything.
No.
And
it was just an interesting discussion, though.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I think it comes from foundation. That's what's impressive in this particular point of view. That you're seeing it from a very well-educated vocalist, somebody who has invested a lot of time into not only the craft but the physiognomy that comes with it, to the technicalities, the textbook, and the history. Because to be a classical singer, a lot of history has to be taught, right? You learn it through the pieces as you continue in your journey. But what I find really enlightening is that there isn't, for me, in my perspective and how I've grown to understand musical complexities overall, I think there is not set precise ways that any science on technique can actually deem as correct or incorrect, unless it's actually damaging to the performer. And I think that comes with a lot of beautiful dynamics. And I think culturally speaking, you can't potentially say the way you sing is wrong when it's the way they've been taught.
Especially at this level,
culturally, it's part of who they are.
Especially at that level, because the comparisons that
doesn't work that way. At least not to me.
Video, I presume, was trying to make, where the examples were at both of the pinnacle levels.
Yes.
So both of pinnacle Indian classical singing, and then both of
pinnacle opera
singing,
classical Italian or classical singing.
Neither of those approaches are wrong, and if you think that, I genuinely think you're just a bit short-sighted. It's quite because it genuinely means that you're so set in your ways that you can't see
inflexible.
Exactly, yes. And I was like, whoa, hold on a second. There's other ways of living. There's other ways of doing things, right?
I agree with that. I think also that really rigid mentality comes with the academia.
True.
And I think a lot of you that do classical Indian music would perceive certain things the way that you have learned it, as an absolute way, as an absolute truth. And I think both perspectives are really important for what they are.
At the end of the day, balance. I think that's probably the best way.
That's correct.
But again, like, look at the uniqueness of, for example, in this case, the lack of vibrato, and then fooling my Western ear into thinking that it is vibrato, but it isn't.
Well, and that's what gives us the whole inclination to thinking, oh, this Indian singer has a alternative influence, when at the end of the day it's a classical Indian influence and not an alternative rock influence overall. So
I guess that's been the way that we've been made best sense of it as we discover this.
Yes,
and who knows, maybe my opinions will change the more we discover. I don't know. But
absolutely.
For the time being, I think balance, it's probably the best.
I think if you are new to either or of the journey of discovering worldwide music, or you're studying music for whatever reason it might be, I think finding yourself with a really flexible, open mind, I think will help you in the journey more than a restricted absolute truth to things. And I think you will come to your truths, and I think that's the end of the conclusion.
But again, what are your thoughts? Back to this. See that? It's
those are singing mannerisms, Actually, quite a pop approach.
reminds me of who does him. I can't remember. Will come back to me.
मेरी पहली मोहब्बत
Nice.
पहली मोहब्बत पहली मोहब्बत
So he pronounces that. Pehe.
मेरी पहली मोहब्बत पहली मोहब्बत
Mohabbat.
पहली मोहब्बत है वो
It's really nice, dude.
Oh, lefty.
I wonder if this was for like a movie.
Right. What a vibe.
Indeed. Music is magical. Take all the opinions out of the window. This is what it has to be, you know?
What's interesting? Oh, but that's live, by the way. as
That
well.
is life.
Fucking caught everything. He's just out here vibing and he caught that.
I love this environment.
Apart from obviously the awesome bit, you don't get many lefty drummers.
Yes.
The reason why I always say alternative influences is because that
The
groove
drumming,
that
yes.
he's playing is an alternative groove.
It's an alternative rock groove, yeah, completely.
So, you know, think Wonderwall, think...
yes, you too think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So these are pinnacle... I mean, that's genuinely like...
Stevie Nicks, later on in her career.
Genuinely, those grooves became... Like, these songs made them so popular that when you buy a book of drumming, of grooves, you have to learn those songs. Which pisses me off. Because I don't like some of these songs. But you have to. You genuinely have to. Because they're the best examples of some of these grooves. And the coolest thing is, like, if you look at someone like Adi Jit in the MTV Unplugged, those are the grooves that are the most popular.
Yes.
The rudiments are the most included.
But it makes sense when you collide both ideologies from a rhythmical standpoint and the vocal natural inclinations of less vibrato, elongated singing phrases. You want something to enhance that. And in the Indian music industry, the vocals and minor percussion are the main focus of music.
Yeah.
It's not the bass line, it's not the accompaniment itself. It's what can the voice tell?
Yeah.
And I think that's why the progression from classical music music into alternative rock is so easy.
Yeah.
Because it's focused on what the singer requires, and it amplifies the natural abilities in the singer.
Again, we're talking at this level. This
Yes.
is high level stuff.
Indeed,
we're not
indeed.
talking at amateur level or even intermediate level. There you have to argue that there are some wrong or right ways because development is key. But at this level where they have become settled and they have long careers, keep dreaming.
Let it be what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice falsetto.
I like it.
That's hard. See, that's a very pop approach to singing.
पहली मोहब्बत पहली मोहब्बत पहली मोहब्बत है वो
Nice arrangement.
पहली मोहब्बत पहली मोहब्बत
Just pocket, just nice.
पहली मोहब्बत है वो
Let it be what it has to. Reminds me of Rake.
That's it.
You know?
Rake.
Rake.
If you like this, go to YouTube and just put Rake, R-E-I-K, and listen to their old stuff. I don't know what they're up to lately. So I don't know if this would be even an applicable reference to what they've been doing lately.
They've been doing a lot of commercial reggaeton stuff.
No, that's not what they do. That's not what they do.
But they're Camila has stayed pretty good. Or Sin Banderas.
Listen to
Yes.
those three, Sin Banderas or Rake
Yes.
or Camila from 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And,
Back in 2006.
That's not 8 years ago.
Well, that's more than 2 years.
Fucking hell, that's like 14 years ago.
2009.
12
They were
years ago.
still.
Yeah, like
Minor.
10 years ago. And you'll see what we mean. Also, Sonido stereo. What
Soda
is it?
Stereo.
Soda Stereo. They do have some sound like this. Not the singer. The singer doesn't sound like this. But they do have some music like this. The unplugged version we checked out.
But yeah.
In,
I'm just trying to think if I'm saying the right names.
Soda Stereo.
I think so.
I think that's the
Soda
name.
Stereo. Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I can't remember. But search him up. If it sounds like
Latin rock.
it's all in Spanish, but you'll like it. You'll love it if
you like this, this
and
is...
I still, guys, has there ever been a collaboration between an India artist and a Spanish or Latin artist?
It's an easy translation, isn't it?
God, it would sound amazing.
It would.
He loves that bell. Yay, minor percussionists.
Pehli Mohabbat, Pehli Mohabbat, Pehli Mohabbat hai.
Bravo!
But the minor
Yes.
percussionist really deserves a lot of credit, especially in this type of setting. It adds so much girth.
Fantastic.
It adds the seasoning to a beautifully made steak
Oh yeah, I agree. Yes, Efra, well done.
or
Wow.
chicken broth.
Oh,
I don't know.
wow.
I've never made a broth. What's the difference between a soup and a broth?
The broth is usually made with bones.
The broth.
Broths,
You
yeah.
leave the bones in
Like-
there.
Yeah, like the remains. Like it's like the peels of the veggies and yeah. It's,
All right.
it's-
Soup is a bit more
Soup is like with the actual
delicate.
there's actual cuts of meat that go in soup and
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, let us know what you thought about it.
Mm.
And please put your opinions in the comment section below. It's always the cool thing about the podcast and videos like this is that to
open conversations with you.
discuss with you guys. It has been getting very hard to reply to everyone, but we heart a lot of you guys to let you know that we've read you. And definitely I'll look out for like a blue circle. That's my username. I tend to reply, so
Yes.
look forward to reading this. And goodbye, guys.